Hey, what's good, folks? Yeah, we back at you. Shit talking at its best. Today I got my man, brother Daryl, with me today. Uh, we're gonna see what Daryl talking about. Now I'm gonna let Daryl more political than I am, as stated before. Politics ain't my thing. I think it's a lot of bull, both sides, Democrat, Republican. Like I said, I'm neither one of them. But my man Daryl, I know he got some insight in on the politics, so I'm gonna let him answer some questions. Now, Daryl, if I'm not mistaken, I think during the last election, Daryl's thought was, I'm not sure, I don't think he voted, but I think he said black folks should have voted for Trump. I think he said, a lot of people he was talking about uh, the best of two evil, or the best of two evil, and most blacks went with Biden or Democratic as they always do. But if I'm not mistaken, Brother Darrell, did you think that Trump was a better candidate at the time?
Well, yeah, I can say that at the time. Well, not think or believe that he was a better candidate. As time has gone by now, we see that he was the better candidate.
Okay, then. So explain that to me, because I don't see that right now. So
Well,
explain it to
based
the people.
upon, based on what you said just here previously, that most people voted for who they thought was the lesser of two evils.
Right.
My position on that, and my position on that is that Trump was the lesser of two evils.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that in a vacuum. I'm saying that as an informed political student. And based on what my research and based on what I can substantiate based upon my research, is I was more aligned with the policies of Trump. Okay. And I felt that any informed uh, person that's involved in the political process should have been aware of some of the policies that Trump represented.
Okay, well, give us some of the facts that made you believe that or come to that conclusion.
Well, first and foremost, let it be understood that I thought that initially, in following the, uh, the political process at that time, then the debates and who would represent the Democratic Party, who was Hillary Clinton. And at the time, there was no clear cut favorite for the Republican vote. But when I saw that Hillary was running, and knowing Hillary's past, and Trump was running, I thought that Trump initially was just like somewhat of a sideshow, or
that's what I think most Americans thought. Right. It was just part, right, just a joke that he was out there as a joke.
Exactly, and being aware of the political process and some of the mechanisms and tools that they use to divide people, I thought that Trump was put in to cause a division that would ensure that Hillary Clinton would succeed.
Okay.
Which she didn't.
Right. So with that said, okay, so he won that vote. He surprised, shocked everybody, and we seen how that term went for Trump, and it made a lot of people uneasy. I mean, some people love him, he's a love or hate guy. That's what I see. Is you either love him or you hate him, and so the people that hated him wanted him out. So the next election was he ran against Biden. Mm-hmm. So why did you think that time that he was a better candidate, if you thought that?
Well, I mean, my perspective on the concept of the lesser of two evils was, I have and we have physical evidence stating some of the deeds of Biden that he's physically done. I have relatives, I have friends that went to prison under the prison industrial complex, and that was made possible by some of the policies of Biden.
Correct.
You know, the 3 strikes. You know, some of the policies that he formulated when he was the governor in Delaware. So being familiar with that, being familiar
with his previous policies,
exactly.
You saying that him stepping in there, he wasn't for us.
Some really. Of the policies, yeah, exactly.
I mean, what made you think that Trump was for us, though?
Well, I could never. Trump. I mean, I heard people saying or repeating what I mean, because anytime I want to know what people are saying, where they get it from, when I tune into mainstream media and I hear people parroting the ideas of mainstream media, then and I come and I ask you for context and I ask you for actual evidence and the source of your evidence for what you're saying about this man, I haven't got anything substantial.
I got you on that, and I know one of the things that people were saying or still say that he's racist, and I know, and you know what, I said that before, but for real, I don't believe he's racist. I don't believe he's racist. I believe he's an opportunist, and I believe he uses any situation that's going to better him. Because we know, he hung with the rappers back in the day. You know, he was on a rap songs, or his name was shout out on rap songs. Right. He was hung with Mike Tyson back in the day at every fight with Tyson. And several black people have said he's not racist. He's not right. racist. So I don't believe he's racist. I think he's opportunist in anything that's going to put him in where he wants to be. So the problem I had with him, I think everything that he does is just only for him. It's not for the people. It's for him. And he's going to use whatever leverage he can get. It's just like, now, he's not racist. I say he says some racist-like things. And he says those things to get racists on his side. So I believe that even he's not a racist. I believe every racist is behind him. Now, every Trump supporter isn't a racist. I'm not saying that. But every racist is a Trump supporter. I believe that because they believe deep down inside, he sides on their side with a lot of these situations that be going on. So I can see Biden. I don't have any love for Biden. He's not my man or nothing of that sense. But I just think Trump is just on it. His thing is just himself. No matter what he's saying out of his mouth, I can't believe a word of it out of his mouth. He's just doing things for self.
Well, yeah, I understand your position on that. I've always been taught that, man, we don't judge a man by his friends. We judge a man by his enemies. So, with that said, when I look at Trump, in the way that he's been positioned. And as I said earlier, Hillary Clinton, who is the Clinton family, Bill and Hillary are 2 of the most powerful people in the Democratic Party. You know, of course, well, you got Obama up in there with him now. But I know the policies of Hillary.
Right.
I know what Hillary wanted in terms of her, well, let me rephrase that. I know her position as it related to, and this may be controversial, Putin and Russia. See, I've been at this thing long enough to remember when Russia was a friend of America. You know, I mean, I know I'm a student of history.
Right.
So I study it. I'm not a trained historian, but I'm an armchair historian. You know, I read a lot. So I can recall and I remember when Russia was the friend of America.
Yeah.
And I know from history that if it wasn't for Russia in World War II, that America and the West and the Allies could not have won World War II without the help of Russia. I'm on the topic, but I'm off the topic.
Yeah, you've been on.
So I know now, okay, who is Putin? America became an enemy of Russia and Putin because after Russia was taken down in the 80s, remember, I don't know if your listeners are aware when we had beef with communism and beef with Russia at the time when communism was the enemy.
True on that, all that, but that's America. Period. That's what we know America as anyway. Everybody's their friend until they're not. Until they can't get what they want out of these people, then they switch up and now they're the enemy. So we got to do these things. So, but that's America. Period. Anybody in politics. That's why I say the politics are fake and phony anyway, or they got their way they do things. So just Hillary and them was backing it. I'm saying Trump. Now, I think one part of your thing is speaking about Trump enemies, and he goes against the government at times, and he goes against the FBI at times. Things that we've had problems with as black people. But what I differ in that though.
So you don't respect the fact that he's challenging institutions that have traditionally been an enemy to black people?
I don't.
FBI, COINTELPRO?
No, I don't really, because he's doing it for self.
Well,
he's not. He's doing it for self. So the FBI has been on his back about his practices for years. When he had his buildings and he was renting out, he had to go to court for those type of things and stuff. They looked into his background about him, his race practices with that type of stuff. So he's had problems with these things, and he goes against the government. But just because he goes against some people that's against us, don't mean he's for us either. So I can't make him my friend because he's against some people again, because he don't care how they treat us. That's how I look. He don't care how they treat us because he's going at them. He's going at him on his own. Like I say, it's for self. So that doesn't make me feel like, this guy's something. I need to be with this guy because he could care less about what happened to us as black people.
Well, see, and see, what I was trying to do was lay the framework for what we see transpiring through the political process. See, all this stuff is not just happening in a vacuum, is what I'm saying. See, Trump, let's take one of the policies that I agree with wholeheartedly. And 1989, 1990, I read a book, and I still have the book. It's called New World Order by Ralph Epperson.
I heard of it, but I haven't read it.
Okay, so what Ralph Epperson was arguing in the New World Order, there's a people who have a philosophical thinking where they wanted to rule the world. Okay? Now, they got to a certain point in their discussions, according to Ralph Epperson, where they had a discussion about the third world and the first world. So their challenge was what to do with the third world countries, whether or not to raise the third world up to first world status, or to take the first world countries being your Western countries, America, Britain, Italy, France, first world countries, Germany.
Okay.
We're taking these countries down to third world status. And one of the mechanisms or means that they chose to use to do this was illegal immigration. So what they decided that these New World Order people decided to do was to allow illegal immigrants into these so-called first world countries to put a strain on the economies of these first world countries as well as the infrastructure of these first world countries. Okay, so, when I turn on the debates, the Republican debates, at the time I'm still thinking Trump is a joke.
Mm-hmm.
But I hear Trump say, I'm going to build a wall.
Okay.
I'm going to stop illegal immigration. So I oh, ding, ding, ding. I go back to 89, 90. Ralph Epperson. Immigration was a means and a way to break down the structure of what? The first world countries.
Okay. So you're putting that together.
I'm putting that. I'm saying he's challenging that.
Mm-hmm.
So when I see him challenging that, no, they're gonna come out against him. That's why I say you don't judge a man by his friends, you judge a man by his enemy. So now I'm like, hold up. At this time, Trump wasn't even the candidate that represented, he hadn't been chosen to represent the Republican Party at this time. Trump actually had to take control of the Republican Party. I don't know if anybody remember when he went up in the Republican convention, because he had the backing of the Republican constituency that empowered him to go in and say, hold up now, because they try to lock him out. So I'm looking at all this, man. I mean, I've been studying politics.
I got you.
For years.
And I know you have. That's why I said you was more politically inclined to talk about this than I am. But one thing I can say is, what I was saying is that I think it's about Trump doing things for himself now.
But is he doing things for himself? I mean,
listen. Go ahead. I'll let you go.
Another one of his policies.
Well, no, if you skip that, I don't want to get off that.
Off the immigration?
Yeah.
Let's deal with the immigration.
And like I said, I'm not
positive. Biden don't want to get off the immigration either, because he's talking about the wall too now.
I'm not politically inclined. He is?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
absolutely.
All I'm going to say is, one, the wall was never built. That's what Trump ran.
Portions of the wall.
Portions.
They blocked. They gated.
It was going to be built when Trump went. It's going to be built by Mexicans. They're going to pay for the wall. All of that was said while he's running. Okay. Saying whatever sounds good to the people. Right. Now, I know the people, white America, is fearful of immigration, fearful of people coming here.
You're not?
That's not. No, I'm not.
Well, you may have. You wasn't. You're not now? Because ask the people in Chicago. Ask the people in New York.
Right. Okay. Well, true. I'm not. All right. We're going to get into that. So what I'm saying, I wasn't. If they come, I mean, I don't think they should just come here, like, just to come here.
Yeah, they need to legally come up.
Right, legally come. But I'm saying Trump knew that America was scared of that, and they had it. That's how that was his way to come in as a backer. That's the way he was to come in and get that group of people behind him. He uses his tactics or whatever's going to get him to where he needs to be at. And that's what I'm saying. He didn't do what he said he was going to do.
Well, now, look at the opposition.
He's done a lot. He's done a lot of other stuff. He's
attempted to do.
He's done a lot of stuff that other. Well, let me tell you. And Barack couldn't have did half of the shit that he did. That he's done. Barack couldn't have did that. They would have been hung Barack for trying to do half of the shit.
I'm not going to get into Barack. That's another whole.
Well, that's another show. But this is we're still talking. We're gonna talk about this. We're talking black and white too. Okay. So we're talking what a black man can do in this type of state.
All right, let me give you a different perspective. Let me offer you a different perspective. Okay, and I just stated to you. See, I didn't just accept or go with Trump just because. I did that based on knowledge.
You stated
so what I'm saying when I make that point is, you got others that saw and see what I see. Yeah, you can look at it from the perspective of black and white, but how does that look to a person that considers themselves a nationalist? See, and that was one of the things that Trump proposed. See, there's a movement in America. It's an old movement. It's been around for years. It's called the America First movement. Trump wasn't the first. Trump took the ideas or some of the ideas of the America First movement. That's where you get that language, America First. That's not Trump's idea. That's an old idea. That's an idea from the founding fathers that said, hey, look, we ain't not going to get into no foreign conflicts. You see what I'm saying? We got to worry about what's going on here. That wasn't his idea. So when you hear him say that, and he's espousing these ideas, and a person who considers themselves an American patriot, who a lot of times just so happen to be white, but you got black American patriots or people who would consider.
They think
Yeah, so they think that's what they are, but you got to deal with them from the perspective of what they believe.
Okay, but
you know, so you can't just say, all right, well, there's just blank and broad brush all white people. You see what I'm saying? There's segments of white people that wholeheartedly believed in Trump because they felt like he was fighting for their ideals.
And I know that's what they believe. I understand that that's what they believe. And that's what he wants them to believe. Do I believe he's really fighting for them?
No. But if he's espoused, then when he comes in and the first thing I heard him the other day. I haven't listened to Trump since the election. So, I tuned in the other day because I heard him say something about Trump on dictatorship. Right? So I'm like, man, let me hear what Trump, what he's talking about with the dictatorship. But the way they presented it was as if he said that he was a dictator, But it was like a setup question, so to speak. And then if you know Trump, I mean, he can be facetious, and he can when he's being facetious, he sometimes make to a person that's just looking at him, man, be like, man, he dumb as hell, whatever. But he caught the question, and he said, you can go back and look at it yourself. The dude he made an accusation, but he put the question in the form of a accusation. Mm-hmm. So Trump, he said, well, as a dictator, he said, there's two things I'm going to do. I'm going to build that wall, and I'm going to drill. What is he talking about? What is he talking about? He's talking about America's oil reserves. America now is beholden to the Middle East for oil. America up in the North Slope of Alaska got double the times of oil that Saudi Arabia and the Middle East has. But the American people don't know that. They don't even know what he was talking about. You see what I'm saying? So, and the media plays on that. Mainstream media plays on the ignorance of the people. They know that we don't read. They know that we're not going to go and research. So they can say, man, look, this person says such and such. And they manufacture hate for a person that is really a good person.
Well, my thing about that is, like I said,
and I'm not. Hold on. Let me, I'm not saying that Trump characteristically is a good person. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying how they can make us.
Make anybody look a certain type of way.
Exactly.
They can make anybody. That's what we say. They change on their allies at times. When at times they were their friends, and then they the worst person in the world. We got to get rid of them. So we all agreement on that. We know how America work with that. I'm saying we as me and you know that.
Yeah, but even with that, I mean, I can go more in depth. On that, it's not just America. America does not just pick enemies just because.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're not doing what they want you to do, or you're doing something that's an obstacle
that's not beneficial to them.
Right, exactly.
Not beneficial to them.
So at that point, the question becomes, hold up, man. This is a policy of mine. And I learned this policy from the minister. And the handling of the minister in the media, it is a man I've been following since 1989.
Right.
And I know this man. I'm his student. I know that he's a good man. But when I hear it on the media, he's never portrayed the way I see him. Exactly. He's never portrayed the way that people who have been up close and personal who have actually listened to him being portrayed.
And I agree 100% with you with that. I believe 100%. But the only thing I'm going to differ with you with that statement is that you have been with that man. You have been with that man for years. You've seen that man in action. You, I think, literally talked to that man. You haven't had this time with Trump unless it's something that I don't know about. You haven't been around that man in his private settings and all of these type of things. So I'm just gonna say it's a big difference there. Just tell me about what you talk about Minister Farrakhan and tell me about what you.
Trump ain't in the same breath as the minister.
Okay, that's what I know.
I was extracting a principle.
I know what you were saying
on how I determine who is.
But you can't do that. Hold on.
I'm tell you this. 85. Now I'm not putting them, the minister, the individual, against Trump, the individual. Like I said, I'm extracting the principle. The principle here that I'm extracting is people that are demonized on mainstream media.
So when I said
I said this is my policy.
Yeah.
Now I would implore others to follow what I'm doing, and you will see that I'm correct. You see what I'm saying? So what I do, this is what I do, and it's been very helpful to me. If I see mainstream media, a person has to be a man, a woman, whoever, and the demonization of that individual, 85% of the time, I go and I listen to these people, whoever it may be, because hold up, who is this? I may not know. Let's
you feeling it's a reason. It's a reason they're going against this man.
Exactly. And most 85% of the time, this person that they say don't listen to, don't follow. Look, 85% of the time I found good in whatever that individual was saying. This is exactly the individual that I want to listen to. Whoever you see up on that mainstream media that they're telling you not to listen to, go listen to that person. And I'm telling you, on the other side, you're going to say, oh man, that's not a good person. That person has some good ideas.
Yeah, I agree with you. I can agree with you that a lot. I mean, I'm not going to say 100, but I know the percentage is in there that they do demonize people that they want you to be afraid of, and they want you to not go with them because, you know what I mean? We know the blacks that have been thrown out to the wolves like that. So
first and foremost,
I can understand that, and I believe that. But okay, we hit some politics and
we ain't finished on that because I really want to give people a different perception, man.
Of what? What part of it?
Just on the politics. Just say the geopolitical politics. And when I say geopolitical politics, I mean politics on a global level. And what's stuff that we look at that we may not understand, right? Say, for instance, this is a prime example. And actually, in this example, because I touched on Hillary Clinton earlier and her policy of the removal of Putin.
Right.
And we know that Trump had a policy to go at China. Trump's policy was, man, it's the Chinese virus, this the Chinese. See, we looking at this, man, this Trump, dumb as hell. He, what the hell is Trump talking about? He trying to go at China. He tried to put different policies on China to, as he say, ward off China's rise to power, pretty much. And see, that in 2008, you had the financial crisis, right? Culminating in 2020 with the virus that shut the country down.
Right.
See, unbeknownst to us, we just looking at this stuff that's happening. That's a form of warfare. So, but I mean, it's a warfare just on an economic level.
Right.
So right now, America's been ruling the world. Right. That's what we would call, in political terms, a unipolar world, right? 2020 was the end of what we would call a unipolar world. With the rise of China, with the rise of Russia on an international scene. The people that backed Hillary
Mm-hmm.
wanted to go after Putin and communism, right?
Mm-hmm.
They see Russia as being a threat to America's unipolar power. Trump and the people that he represents, because I hope nobody thinks that no president is the power.
Yeah, we spoke.
Presidents are selected.
A lot of people think
they're not elected like people going out there just because y'all voting for them. Y'all think y'all voting for a president. No, presidents are selected. So the people who was backing Hillary wanted to go and they perceive Putin and Russia as being the enemy. The people that Trump represents sees China as the enemy. So they call this a pivot. So those that was backing Hillary wanted Trump, Hillary was going to pivot towards Russia and take out Russia and communism on that end. As I said, the people that Trump represents wanted to go after China. And the people that Trump chose not to pivot towards Russia as they had planned. He went towards China. I mean, this is document. I ain't just saying this in a vacuum, and it may be above.
It might be. It might be above my listeners.
Listeners are ready for it right now. But anytime they want some clarification on it, or
what I want to do,
a simpler explanation I can give
is when my man D, when he's back, he's more in the political field as you are. Mm-hmm. So I would like y'all to have this conversation.
Oh, absolutely.
I like y'all because he's more up on it than I am, as I say. So we're gonna let brother Darrell sit with that right now until next time when my man here. We're gonna pick back on the politics of this thing. So we're gonna do that. Right now, let's flip it over and jump into some other stuff. I want to talk about our people, man. I want to talk about our people, us as black people, and why we still at where we at in certain situations. I seen where brother just stated. Well, if I heard this before, rich people stay rich by acting poor, and poor people stay poor by trying to be rich or looking rich. And I'm just like, wondering when our people gonna get it? When we gonna get that? Trying to look rich ain't about nothing. Ain't about doing nothing. Why are we still stuck in this? And let me get this. I understand coming from nothing, as most of us are as blacks, came up in the hood and everything. When we get something, we want to show it off. We want to say, now we made it, and type of thing. We want to say, yeah, now I'm looking good and all this. But when does it come a point in time to say, all right, we made it, we good. We're good. We don't have to act like we're good. I know people in our neighborhoods, I don't know if we're total the top spenders, but I could bet that black folks are more spenders in designer clothes than any other race there is. I'm pretty sure we Gucci'd out and all of this stuff, man, and everything. I got my rappers that still wearing gold chains and all of this stuff. And I was like, I never see Justin Bieber with no gold on, or Justin Timberlake. Never see them cats walking around Elon Musk. And I mean, why? When do we get older? This thing get older us, man.
Well, I mean, me personally, man. I've always been into fashion.
And that's fine. That's fine if you're into it. And if you got the money for it.
Yeah.
I'm even talking about the people who don't have the money for it.
Yeah.
I'm talking about our brothers and sisters that's still living in the hood that's going to go out there and buy this type of stuff and not even have rent money maybe to pay. And I speak on this a couple of times because it really bothers me that we can't get past these type of things. So I'm a car person myself. I'm gonna have a nice car, but I'm gonna have it for me. And like my man brother Durgo, he's a fashion dude, but he's doing it for him, not to show nobody. He likes the stuff. So that's cool. That's cool. And he ain't begging nobody for no rent money. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing. But I'm saying the brothers and sisters and the people that have money that still act like they got a show. And I know I have a problem with I'm pretty sure one of your celebrity likes is my man Floyd Mayweather, man. And he kills me. This man's been rich for over 20 years. He's been rich. So, and I understand coming out the ghetto, you want to show people, look at me, I'm good now. I mean, it's 20 years old now, man. Why are we still showing our brothers and sisters my watches and my rings and my cars and my jets? You still doing those things, and you claiming you helping the hood because you're giving them turkeys on Thanksgiving, or even you pay somebody's funeral. I've heard little things you've done, certain people, but you bought $18 million watch that you could have spent some money in the hood on. You ain't got to, it's your money. But an $18 million watch, I don't know, girl.
I'm in agreement with you on that. You know, Florida is my favorite boxer.
He's a great boxer. He's a great boxer.
And I separate Floyd Mayweather, the boxer, from Floyd Mayweather, the man.
Oh, okay. So you do have that issue with him also.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
You know, I got a big issue with Floyd, and mainly the position that he took during the water crisis up in Flint, Michigan.
What was that? Which position?
Flint, Michigan. They had
we already know about the water.
Yeah, about the water crisis. Yeah, so during the water crisis, you know, people was donating, you know, water, and I know the nation helped out with a lot of water. And when Floyd was approached about helping, he made a comment, man, that Grand Rapids don't fuck with Flint.
What?
You know, so I'm like, Floyd, man, what does that have to do with anything, man? You know, I mean, I understand, you know, in cities, you know, you got traditional beefs or whatever, man, but look here, man, it's your people. Exactly. You know, people dying, man, and then giving poison water.
Yeah.
And you're not going to do nothing? You talking about Grand Rapids and Flint? No, I got an issue with it.
Okay.
So, I mean, as a man, I lost respect for him.
Oh, that's right. See, and I hadn't heard that statement from Floyd, but I've just seen his moves in other way. And this ain't a thing about Floyd. I'm talking about all the people that have. I mean, we can go through. I can put some other names out there that don't do jack.
I mean, I agree. I agree.
People
See,
also.
But what you got to understand is, what we have to understand is, we're involved in a manufactured culture. It's a culture, man, of fashion, material things. It's a culture, man, that's coming up as a youth, you know, when crack cocaine was the thing.
Yeah.
You know, back then, and this was...
We talked about that last.
Right.
Go ahead.
But this is the origin of, I believe, lifestyles that are rich and famous, and all these shows that give you some of the inside views of stars, so-called stars.
The glitz and glamour,
right.
Of course. We see that.
So, I mean, we are people that come from greatness.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's in us.
Yeah.
Naturally. And we desire and we like nice things. We always have.
No, and there's no problem with that when you can afford it.
So, I mean, coupled with the manufactured culture, which is a culture of death, primarily that's being promoted by our rappers. That's another whole subject.
Yeah, that leads right into
But it's another whole subject. But those individuals that I spoke of earlier, the New World Order, I mean, that's a term. I mean, we can be more specific now in terms of who the New World Order is. That's so abstract. But the same individuals that I spoke of earlier with the immigration piece are the same individuals that's responsible for the culture that's being fed to us on a daily basis.
True.
Now, it's all designed to kill us, primarily.
But why, and we don't have any leaders, so I can even say that, but why don't we have leaders out here trying to lead us in another direction?
We got leaders. I mean,
huh? Who?
Well, first and foremost, you know who I'm gonna say first and foremost.
Well, I know, but
I mean, we got.
I think we had a conversation.
I mean, the minister's been on the battlefield for over 60 years.
He definitely has. But as I said, and it's probably because what you stated on America, how America try to make Minister Farrakhan look. That I said he's looked as a greater man outside of the United States than he is in the United States.
You're absolutely correct.
And that's the problem.
I can't
that's the problem
with
Minister Farrakhan not getting. I ain't gonna say the following because I know he has a following, but I'm saying getting black folk together. I mean, let's say he even gets the rap. We stepped on the rappers. The rappers, we know what they do and all the things they promote and the negativity that they promote in our community now. And it was a plan. That was part of a plan too to change the music, make sure the music stay where it's at or get where it's at.
That's the cause.
The fight the power stuff. Let's get rid of that. The public enemies and the poor righteous teachers and those guys that was out trying to put something positive out here. They don't want to hear that. Even the party songs, man. These little girls got to sing about all that they got to sing about. Every last one of them to get on a hot album to get paid, they got to do that. But I'm saying, Farrakhan gets these rappers together and tells them what to do. But as soon as they jump right back out there on the scene, they still doing the same thing.
Well, I understand what you're saying. See, I heard the minister put it like this before. He was making reference to Al Shyt, right? And one of our ministers in the nation had basically some words for Al Shyt. On a position, I can't recall the specific position that he took.
Mm-hmm.
But, they got on him real hard. So it got back to the minister. And the minister listened to what was said. He didn't disagree with what was said, but he strictly said this. He said, do you think that Al Sharpton would be a better tool where he is, or take him off from where he is and just kick him? He didn't say, I'm paraphrasing that, but he said he's more powerful where he is. But what we have to understand is Al Sharpton's reality is not our reality. So I'm saying this to say, with them rappers, see, their reality, any entertainer, because they're all controlled. They don't have they can't make no independent moves. They basically, like my brother wrote the book, The $20 Million Slave, they basically just rich slaves.
But if they came together, they couldn't make no moves.
Man, look, we dealing with basically Negroes.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah. I mean, you got a few lions out there.
So basically,
you got Kyrie as a lion.
So basically, we never gonna learn. So basically,
we are
never gonna learn.
Yeah, we're gonna learn.
We gonna learn.
We're gonna learn.
What, when world end, it's a new world.
Man, look here. The way the world is unfolding now, man, it's impossible. You know, see, I'm a man. You know, not only am I a student of the minister, you know, but I'm a student of scripture. You know, biblical, Quranic, Hebrew. I mean, you know, I'm a student of it.
Yeah.
So, and these books are the lens by which I see. So, when I see what's going on, and I read one of the signs of the end time is people will have the mark of the beast in their head and in their hand. That's in Revelations. So I've been taught. I don't look. Most people look at them like, hey, you're gonna have 666. You know the movies, the Omen, and all that. You got 666 in your head and all. No, that's not what that means. The interpretation of that was given to us by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is that we will be thinking like the beast. So as a result of thinking like the beast, we will be doing the works of the beast. We will be doing his works. So, I mean, I know one of the, and this is in line with the demonization, because right now, our youth are being demonized.
Exactly.
And our youth are actually being set up as we speak. And some of us are agreeing to it. This is how the enemy works. See, we see with this carjacking going on, right? They know they don't fed our children, man. For 15 years, Grand Theft Auto has been out. They fed our babies, man. Grand Theft Auto for 15 years. Look at the age of these youngins out here now. It's a steady diet. They're out there. They have had a program downloaded in them, bro. Yeah. This is what I'm trying to tell you. And they're out there doing what? They thinking like the beast, and they're out there doing the works of the beast. They're out there doing what they've been trained to do. That's what that game is. It's a military simulation training program. And they're out there doing exactly what they do in the game. Have you ever played it?
No.
Go check it out.
I don't need to.
Check it out. Because you actually don't need to now because you're seeing it in the streets. It's live. It's being played out. Satan has downloaded a program in us. What you're talking about with the clothing and all, we've been programmed for that.
But what I'm asking, my question was, how we gonna get out of there? I said we never. I said never. You said we are. And that was my question. How are we gonna get out of it?
When we come to the realization or the knowledge that we have war.
Well, how are we gonna come to that realization? Because the people that know already know. Us that know already know. They don't know. And we don't have the leaders. You said you named one leader. Farrakhan. That's always said. America don't look at Farrakhan as the leader that they should. For one. So if we don't,
America or Black America?
Black America. Black America. I don't. These youngins wouldn't be doing. As I said, the rappers don't even do what the minister tell. If they followed him, and they wouldn't jump back out here doing the same thing.
Because of the rappers.
When we had leaders, and we could talk about leaders in the past, we wanted to stand up with them. And we seen that they was gonna make a change or trying to make a change for it. That's what it looked like at the time. And we know they were killed off. They were killed off anytime we got anybody that was scary to them. Mm-hmm. That was going
that was attracted and that had
that was going we got
can attract black people.
That we got somebody that's they listening to, man. That's why I say America ain't as scared as Farrakhan as he should be scary if black folk would go and listen to a lot of what he said.
Hold on, repeat what you just said.
I said America ain't as scared of Farrakhan.
America meaning
white America, the government, and all that ain't as scared Farrakhan as other leaders because he don't have as many people wanting to follow him in America as I say leaders in the past.
I beg to differ with that.
I got you. I know you're a father, so you can give it to me.
They are, man, totally afraid of Minister Farrakhan. And anybody that speaks the truths of Minister Farrakhan. That's why
I don't think they don't see the movement. They don't see that. They don't see the movement. We still stuck. They don't see the change in our young folks. The same thing you just said. They don't see the change in rappers. They don't see the change in they don't see the change in the music. It ain't nothing putting them to a way to say, oh, we gotta move. Like they had to make a change in the music. With Public Enemy, they was like, nah, these brothers getting too much on the power, fighting the power. That's the afraid I'm talking about. That's the afraid that he don't have people changing the way they thinking. He don't have Floyd Mayweather thinking about, I ain't gonna buy this $18 million watch. I'm gonna put this in our community and build our community.
I agree with that because he doesn't really have to.
What you mean?
Because he's actually controlling the minds of those that think that they're not being controlled. I'm talking about the enemy.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about the enemy.
Yeah, the enemy.
Now, I mean that's an abstract term.
But I'm saying as a leader, if Farrakhan was the leader, which I listen to Mr. Farrakhan, and I'm saying if he was the leader that we needed, the changing mind. You saying they controlling the mind? If Farrakhan could get through these people and change their mind, then they would be scary, real scary. They would be real scared of the minister now, but they don't see a change. These niggas doing the same old thing, killing each other. Our plan work. We threw drugs in their neighborhood. They fought over and killed, and they killing each other. We ain't even got to do nothing but sit back in a rocking chair now and let them kill each other. The minister ain't changing that.
That's their program. No, the minister is at war with. The minister, not only the minister, but anybody who represents the minister is at war with. That's why I'm over here on this couch right now.
I understand.
This is a part or a tool or a mechanism in the war.
And that's what they want. And that's what I want more of us to be a part of it.
Right.
That's what I want. But they got to be more part. They going to, my listener, we just starting this thing. Why the people that got the following? They already got a following. They need to be talking about this.
They got a following, Tony, but they don't have understanding.
I know.
So the thing is, with a lot of people, so look at in the city, for instance, when they trying to come up with some ideas or means or ways to deal with this youth situation. See, they dealing with it from monetarily. They dealing with it politically or attempting to. See, but I don't care how much money you throw at this problem.
Yeah.
I don't care what you come up with politically. It's not going to work because what we're dealing with is spiritual. It's spiritual warfare. So unless you're coming at it from that perspective, you're not going to properly understand what we're dealing with. We're in spiritual war. So you have to come with that language. Now, most people, we know now, because, generally I don't tell people what I believe religiously or theological. I don't really share my beliefs like because we're not mature enough sometimes when we tell somebody, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Christian, or whatever you espouse or whatever you believe. Sometimes we're going to shut down because it's different or we perceive it as different from what we've been taught or what we believe. Right. And it's all one and the same. I've studied it all. I have an extensive library on theology. I like theology. I deal with religion, but I study theology. So, it's one and the same, man. It's one and the same. So, when I come, we got to craft, and I was just sharing this with some brothers, a language, man, that would be acceptable to Christians. So when I come, I speak straight from the Bible. I mentioned Revelation. I'm not, to a Muslim. When I meet a Muslim, I speak to a Quran.
But what you said is a spiritual war. So how do you get people connected to that spiritual war?
By giving them a proper understanding of what we're going through. And I always stop, even when I'm talking to Christian, anybody, I try to give them contextually what we're facing. And this is what we're facing. Anybody, I mean, you can go look it up. Any of your followers can go look this up. We got to start with Genesis. We got to start with Genesis 15:12. And what does Genesis 15:12 say?
I understand that, girl. That
Okay,
you saying it's dead.
Okay,
You're saying it's dead
now listen to what Genesis 15:12 says. No other surety. This is God talking to Abraham. I mean, this is not a religious discussion, but this is utmost importance, what I'm about to say. And it's going to give you contextually what's going on. God's talking to Abraham. He tells Abraham, know of a surety that your seed will be carried to a land that is not theirs, and will serve and be afflicted by the people of this land for 400 years. Then God says, after that 400-year period, I will come, I will judge the righteous, and I will judge the people that they serve, and the righteous shall come out with great substance. That's why I can say we're going to be all right based on those words. Now, contextually, you have a theological debate going on between Minister Farrakhan and members of the Jewish community. They say they God's chosen people. Minister Farrakhan says, nah, we're God's chosen people. We're the ones that fulfilled that 400 years in a land that is not ours, which is America. I don't have to explain that to nobody. Mm-hmm. But you got a theological difference there. But you got a whole people that's saying that that's them. Right? So now, when you got these two extremes, look, somebody is an imposter. And it's not us.
Right.
Because we're the proof that it's not us. So when one comes on scene saying, hey, no, look, this is us. Man, look, straighten up. Straighten up. We got a great future ahead of us. That's why I can sit here and say, man, we're going to be all right. I mean, we're going to go through some stuff. But let me stay on the point. These people, I mean, you can go research this yourself. Or members from, let me correct it. Because I broad brush, I said Jews. No, that's not correct. That's like people saying black people.
Right. Oh.
You know, well, we all black people are not this or that. Yeah. I need a segment from amongst the Jewish community says that they are the chosen people. Okay. Right? And Mr. Farrakhan says that we are. So, as we read, it's these people that say, or a segment of these people that say that they are the chosen people, just so happen, I don't know if it's coincidence, just so happen to be heads of the music industry, heads of Hollywood. Entertainment. Those are the ones that shape perception. They got this concept called fifth generational warfare. Fifth generational warfare deals with perception, misinformation, disinformation. That's where we are now. It's controlling the perception, how people think. And they do it by way of TV.
They've been doing that.
TV. So, and their whole goal is this, plain and simple. To make us unfit to receive what God has promised us. And they have created a culture, and that's what I mean when I say manufactured culture of death. And we're participating in this manufactured culture, which is making us unfit to receive what God has promised us.
Okay, all right, my man. That's my man, Brother Durrell. And he gave us a lot there. And we're gonna stop on that right now. We're gonna end this on this one. And we're gonna have my man Brother Durrell back in here and give us some more. I want to ask him about that war that's going on. I want to get into that a little bit. We're gonna do that next time. But I appreciate y'all. And Brother Durrell got a lot for us, y'all. Peace. So we're gonna get him back up. Y'all be good.